Orange, I have to tell you, Mayfield just dropped their 2026 CXO survey, and the numbers are genuinely wild. We're talking 266 CIOs, CTOs, and CAIOs from Fortune 50 to Global 2000 companies. And the headline? Agentic AI is no longer a pilot play.
So we're past the let's see if this works phase.
Amazed. Way past. 42% of enterprises already have AI agents in production. Add in the ones actively piloting, and you're at 72%. That's nearly 3 out of 4. The CXOs say this is the fastest shift in enterprise automation they've seen in half a decade of running this exact survey.
That's a stark contrast from the cautious experimentation we were seeing even a year ago. But what's actually driving this? Is it cost-cutting, or is there more to it?
Excitedly, both. But here's the interesting part. Developer productivity tops the list at 70% of CXOs, calling it a top 3 priority. One CTO said a 6-month developer can now deliver at the level of someone with 3 years of tenure. That's the kind of acceleration that changes how you staff projects. But then you've got contact centers deploying agents that resolve 93% of customer inquiries, airlines generating $15 million in revenue through autonomous upgrade sales, healthcare cutting patient wait times from 42 minutes to under 1 minute.
That wait time stat is staggering, but surely there are barriers. Nothing scales this fast without hitting some walls.
Oh, absolutely. And the number one blocker isn't what most people guess. It's data readiness. 58% of CXOs say data quality and integration is their biggest constraint. This is the 5th year in a row that's topped the list. The non-obvious insight from Mayfield is features don't win the deal. Data readiness does. If you can't solve data onboarding and governance, your model performance doesn't matter.
That makes sense. Clean data has always been the unglamorous foundation. What about governance? Boards have been waking up to agentic risk lately.
Here's the tension. 84% of CXOs say security and compliance are non-negotiable table stakes. Yet 60% report having no formal AI governance framework in place. The blunt reality, enterprises are moving into production faster than governance can keep up. It's speed versus control, and right now, speed is winning. One CIO from a major bank described it as building governance into every layer of the stack. Models, data, applications, interfaces, while also giving employees latitude to create thousands of their own agent solutions.
That's a fascinating tension. Empower everyone to build, but also don't let anything break. How are organizations actually structuring their agent teams?
Excitedly, this is where it gets really interesting for the human-plus-agent dynamic. 65% are using a hybrid build plus buy model. Only about 10% are vendor-only. Enterprises want control over core workflows and flexibility at the edges. And here's the procurement shift. Business leaders now have equal or greater influence on AI buying decisions than CIOs. LOB leaders are the largest decision-maker group at 46%, surpassing both CIOs at 38% and CTOs at 38%. That's a fundamental reshaping of enterprise procurement.
So the people closest to the actual workflow are driving the budget. That changes the vendor conversation completely. What does that mean for budgets?
Excitedly, 91% of CXOs plan to increase their agentic AI budgets in 2026. And here's the killer stat. Over half are actively reallocating money away from legacy vendors toward AI-native alternatives. The vendor landscape is undergoing a seismic shift. 70% want self-serve trials in their own environment before committing. Mayfield's take is blunt. If you can't offer a sandbox, you're not in the deal.
So we've got mass adoption, a governance gap, budget reallocation, and business leaders driving procurement. But what's the actual ROI look like from the trenches?
Serious. Early adopters are seeing measurable returns in weeks, not quarters. One executive put it perfectly. Efficiency is the quickest win, but the most durable outcome is improved decision-making. The biggest ROI surprise? Reducing cognitive load. Another said AI becomes a flywheel, not a feature. Once you remove friction in documentation, data access, and analysis, everything accelerates. The message from boards is clear. Stop teaching us how AI works and start showing us how it accelerates the business strategy.
That's a real takeaway, isn't it? Value at scale, not technology theater.
Exactly. Mayfield concludes with 5 big takeaways. Production is the new baseline. Data readiness is the critical path. Governance can't wait. The vendor landscape is shifting, and business leaders are now at the table. For anyone building agentic teams, whether in a Fortune 500 or a startup, these are the dynamics shaping 2026.
One last question. 60% lacking formal governance. Is that a ticking clock or a manageable gap?
It's both. The CIOs we heard from are aware of it. Many are building governance into their platforms as they scale, rather than bolting it on later. The ones who get this right will be the ones who treat governance as an enabler of speed, not a brake on it. Design the guardrails into the architecture from day one.
That's a framework worth stealing. All right, let's wrap this up.
That's today's Beyond Prompting. We're Banana and Orange, breaking down the research that matters for anyone navigating the agentic shift. If you found value in these stats, hit subscribe. We're here every morning at 7 a.m. Central.
Tomorrow, we're looking at how AI governance becomes a competitive advantage as agentic systems scale. See you then.
See you tomorrow.